This is Tri-Cities Community Television, and today is Black Balloon Day. Today is a day where, on March 6th, we recognize the drug overdose crisis and where we are with it. We also are here as part of a memorial as well as a celebration of the people that we've lost far too early due to drug overdose. So I'm here with Jennifer Blatherwick, and I was wondering, Jennifer, can you tell us a little bit more about Black Balloon Day, what it's about and what it signifies?
Thanks, Nancy. So Black Balloon Day is, like you said, a day to both memorialize and celebrate the people that were lost far too early to the drug poisoning crisis. Previously, we were calling it the overdose crisis, but that's not what it is. It's people who are being poisoned by the drug supply that's contaminated. But it's been mixed with fentanyl, carfentanil, benzodiazepines, and it causes them to go into overdose. In the same way that you would not say, like, if you went for a coffee at Starbucks and somebody had put something poisonous in your cup, you wouldn't say that you overdosed on Starbucks, right? This is what's happening to people, is that they're taking a substance that may be decriminalized now, but is still, considered mostly to be illegal, and the substance that's added to it is what's killing them. It's not the substance themselves.
Thank you for that. I think we're all in a state of being better educated. What can be done?
I will say, so far what we have is decriminalization, which means that people are not going to be charged if they're carrying 2.5 grams or less of a substance. Now, that there's restrictions there. You're not allowed to have it on school grounds, for instance, and no one under the age of 18 falls under that exemption. So it's not a free-for-all. But what it does do is it allows people who are using, especially, and I think one of the things we get a little lost on here is who is using.
Right.
So more than 60% of the people that are using are older men, and they're using in private residences. They're using inside. So we're not talking about people that are overdosing on the street, though that's what some of us see.
It's a perception, right?
Yeah. It's people who are using alone, and a very common profile is someone who used to be in construction or the trades industry and had an injury and was prescribed legal opioids, and then when they were cut off, had already developed an addiction and still had the pain to manage.
Well, I think you've just sort of highlighted a really complex situation. So we have people that are dealing with not only mental trauma, but also, or emotional trauma, but also physical trauma.
Yes.
So it's probably a lot bigger than what we might think it is.
Well, we know it's bigger because so many people have died despite the danger. So when this first came out in 2015, there was not a lot of public knowledge about the fact that fentanyl had been added to the drug supply. And that was what was killing people. Even a grain of fentanyl can kill you. And so at that point, I can understand people thinking, oh, well, people will just stop, right? Because now they'll know how dangerous it is and they'll quit. But we know how addictive and how dangerous opioids can be. And then what happens is people are still, despite the danger, despite the risk, are using. And we have lost young people, we have lost teenagers, we have lost children to this, and we've lost a huge proportion of people who are men, older men. We've lost senior citizens. And it is because people are in pain and they make a choice to treat their pain.
And also dealing with the root cause a little bit, rather than saying you can stop anytime you want, it's your choice, until we actually get to that root cause of what's causing the pain, then we're on an uphill battle.
Oh, absolutely. And I've been extremely pleased to see the increase in treatment beds, especially treatment beds for people who have complex mental health issues. So that has been a very positive move. I think, unfortunately, we are so far behind the ball that sometimes it can seem we're not moving forward, but there are positive changes being made, and I'm really happy to see those. So today is both a celebration of the people who are lost, but also some of the changes and advocacy for more change.
Right. So just to wrap up, what more change would you like to see?
Well, one of the things I would like to see is a safe injection site located outside of downtown Vancouver. I would really like to see that. The safe injection site allows people to not just go there be able to get safe supplies so that they're not complicating their addiction or their complex mental health issues with an infection or a communicable disease. But it also means that people can get access to actual help while they're there. So when they are ready, they can go speak to someone who can connect them to services.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us this afternoon, Jennifer. It's a really important and complicated issue that it deserves our attention and needs resources, and it needs public awareness and compassion as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Hi, so my name is Jessica Williams. I am co-chair for the Tri-Cities Overdose Community Action Team. We are a collective of community members and stakeholders from the Tri-Cities that come together and create moments of advocacy and awareness and put on education and learning so that we can come to an understanding of what is happening in our ongoing opioid crisis, where in 2022 we have lost 2,272 lives to toxic drug use. Today is Black Balloon Day, and we have come together to honor and remember those who have lost to this ongoing crisis. The best way to reach the Tri-Cities Overdose Community Action Team is to connect with us through email, and you can reach us at info@tri-citiescat.ca.
My name is Vicki Cartwright, and I'm representing Moms Stop the Harm today in celebration and honoring our loved ones gone too soon. It's March 6th, Black Balloon Day we call it. So this is one of the events that we all come to, and I'm here with my other mums, Kathy and Janet and Lisa. Some of us are also Healing Hearts facilitators. At Moms Stop the Harm, we have an organization where it's a peer-to-peer facilitating group for those who have lost loved ones gone too soon. We're advocates. We're trying to educate, change stigma. If you go to Moms Stop the Harm, www.momstoptheharm, we have amazing information on there, how you can help. We're asking people to actually contact their MLAs on our website. Just to make action. We've got to act now. These numbers are getting insane. We're asking where the emergency response is. There's amazing stories on there if you want to find out more on Moms Stop the Harm.
Okay, now I'm with Samantha from the Community Action Team. So, Samantha, can you tell us a little bit about Black Balloon Day and why we're here?
So we're here on March 6th to honor who have lost their lives. So the black balloons represent lives that have been lost to the toxic drug supply. So we want to bring awareness to that and not let people forget that these balloons represent beloved family members that have been lost.
Everybody is getting caught up. You don't have to be a regular drug user.
No, and I think that's one of the myths, that when people think, and I'll bring that word stigma into it, that when people think of what a substance user is, they might have a preconceived notion. They might have a picture in their head of what a substance user is. And I can tell you that that is not necessarily the case. It could be your next door neighbor, it could be a grandmother, it could be anybody working a regular job. You just never know by looking at somebody.
I think you're right. Oftentimes we don't know, right? You don't know who is caught up in this, unfortunate situation. And what can we do? What are some steps that we can take to hopefully turn this around?
Just take some responsibility to have an awareness of what is actually going on. It doesn't do us any good to bury our heads in the sand and think this isn't going to happen to me or my family. To know that there are people out there that are suffering and struggling, and they deserve our compassion and our support, and it's the only way that this is going to have any movement forward any hope at saving lives is if we band together and demand that action is taken to support these people.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us this afternoon, Samantha.
Thank you.
And thanks to Samantha, we've been talking about Black Balloon Day and the toxic drug situation that we find ourselves in, and some actions and a plea for compassion and awareness and, again, more action. Thank you.